Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss Punishment in Kindergarten by Kamala Das. So this poem is a very small poem, quite an easy one, as perhaps you might know that all the poems composed by Kamala Das are small poems, and they are generally don't have that musical quality in them, but yes, they are easily comprehensible poem, written in simple language, but they have deep thoughts, emotions in them. They contain some feelings and deep emotions in them. That's what generally said about Kamala Das, and this poem is no exception to that. This also is written in the same vein, same format, and here she is recalling a childhood experience. This is actually a recollection of a past incident when she was in kindergarten, that is, as we call KGs, LKG, UKG, HKG, something like that. So she was in kindergarten and she was insulted by her teacher. She was scolded by her teacher, and she was quite hurt by that, because the teacher who actually scolded her, and the other is the laughter of the classmates, the friends, who actually which she felt like quite insulting. When she was scolded by the teacher, the children all laughed at her, so this was really very bad for her. She really felt very much insulting after that. So and this is a small poem conveying all such things. And here one more thing, there are two voices in this poem. One is the voice of a child and the other is the voice of an adult. So it tells us that how an adult attains peace with the growing age. Tranquility is there, the world, the person becomes more confident, and the things are more in control of the person. As a child, one is not so. So this difference has also been stated here in this poem. Now let's see how all this has been conveyed in a beautiful manner by Kamala Das. So here let's begin with the poem, that today the world. So here, as I said earlier, she is recalling that past incident. So today the world is a little more my own. No need to remember the pain a blue-frocked woman caused. So here she is recalling the pain caused by a blue-frocked woman. Now who is that blue-frocked woman? She was her teacher, a kindergarten teacher, and the children were taken to some garden. It might be just a trip, an excursion, something like that. The children were taken to a garden, and she is recalling the pain inflicted on her at that time. So she says, today the world is a little more my own. So what does this mean? This means, as a grown-up, we feel more confident, we are more aware, we have more knowledge, and we have more control over things in our life. So that's why, and we are, we can say, mature by the adulthood and all. So that's what she is trying to say, that today the world is a little more my own, and no need to remember the pain. So I don't need to recall the pain which was inflicted by the teacher, that woman, that blue-frocked woman. So of course it was really a bad feeling. That's why she even now, means when she is recalling this event, this incident in the later age, she still remembers that thing. So that much she was hurt by that incident, that much she was pained by that incident. That's why it is still there in her memory. So she says, but now no need to remember the pain. Now of course, there are things that happen to us in the small age, in the childhood, but as the time passes, as we grow up, we forget certain bad things. We don't need to remember that. We don't like to remember those things. So as a mature person, now she also feels that she doesn't need to recall that pain or remember that pain. It is useless recalling that, it is futile. So why she doesn't need to remember that? And throwing, now she says, throwing words at me like pots and pans to drain that honey-colored day of peace. Now what she is trying to convey here is, the teacher actually scolded her badly. That's why this is a comparison. Here, good imagery, we can say, good metaphorical statement or good metaphorical example. It is throwing words at me like, sorry, not metaphorical, this is a simile, like pots and pans. So just as they make noise, she was like shouting at her and scolding her. So that's why this comparison has been made here, like pots and pans. She scolded her in that way. Now we can say scolded her loudly or something like that. That's why she remembers that thing, throwing words at me like pots and pans, that she was so badly hurt. And to drain that honey colored day of peace. So the joy of that day, she is presenting that day as honey colored day. It's a beautiful imagery here again, that honey colored day. So what does that mean, honey colored day? Here she is trying to convey that the day was actually quite peaceful, quite beautiful to her. She felt really quite happy that day, but actually she hadn't befriended many students, or she was new there, she hadn't befriended the other children, so she was feeling quite alone. That was perhaps one of the reasons that has been stated further here in this poem. So to drain that honey colored day of peace, so the day was quite peaceful, the day was quite beautiful, but that joy, that peace, that beauty of the day was all drained, all taken away by the teacher. And that was really bad for her, that was really insulting for her, that was really, we can say, painful for her. Why don't you join the others? What a peculiar child you are. The teacher scolded her. The teacher said to her that why, actually, as I said, that as she was perhaps new there, so she hadn't befriended the children there. She was standing all alone, not mingling with the others. So the teacher, seeing this, she scolded her and said to her that why standing alone here, and why don't you mingle with the others, why don't you join the others, what a peculiar, strange, queer child you are. So she scolded in that manner, and that she didn't like. Actually, the reason of standing alone or not mingling with the others was she was not much familiar with the children there. And on the lawn in clusters sat my schoolmates sipping sugar cane. So what the other children who were taken to the garden along with Kamala Das, means the classmates, we can say, so they were all enjoying sugar cane, they were all sipping sugar cane, they were sitting together enjoying that. They turned and laughed. So when they heard her being scolded, they turned and they laughed. So it was to them actually it was like some fun, and to her, to the poet, it was really very insulting. She was badly hurt. It just we can say it inflicted pain on her heart, and it was she was so much hurt, and she was so much, we can say, pained, that she remembered this incident even in her adult age, or even when she attained maturity. So she's saying the children are funny things. They laugh in mirth at others' tears So really children are not mature enough to understand or sympathize with the others, or understand the feelings of others. So when they saw the teacher scolding her, they started laughing. They enjoyed the moment, they had fun. But for Kamala Das, it was not fun at all. She was not at all happy, and she couldn't join them in such a situation, in such a case, when she was being scolded and they were laughing and enjoying at that. So she couldn't join them, and she really felt very, very bad. It was a nasty thing for her. And what she perhaps it brought more tears to her. She says that they laugh in mirth at others' tears. So how funny, how queer the children, how peculiar, how strange the children are, that they laugh in mirth. Mirth means laughter, joy. So they laugh in joy at others' tears when they saw others crying and just weeping. So they enjoy that. The children are really, of course, children are such. They are not mature enough to understand or the feelings of others, to sympathize with others, or to join others and do something in such a situation for others. They simply laughed, they enjoyed, and it was nothing, we can say, nothing actually bad for the children. We cannot blame the children for such things. But as a child, she did, and she felt so. I buried my face in the sun-warmed hedge and smelled the flowers and the pain. So she, as she was insulted, as she was, she felt quite bad. So what she did, she turned to the hedge. So what she is saying, I buried my face in the sun-warmed hedge. So a hedge, of course, was there, bush, like we can say, fencing, yes. So fencing was there, fencing of plants and bushes and all. So was there, and as it was a sunny day, so she just turned and she just we can say hid her face there in the sun-warmed hedge, and towards the hedge, she turning her face, she stood there and smelled the flowers and the pain. Of course, she could smell those flowers, but the pain was also there. So that flower didn't smell her too good at that time, because she was hurt, she was pain. So flowers didn't actually we can say smell her to be very good. She didn't feel very good smelling those flowers. Instead, what she actually we can say she felt very bad. She felt very, very bad smelling that pain. We can say that pain was so much on her and her heart that she couldn't enjoy the smell of flowers too. That too might have felt like bad to her or something. The words are muffled now, the laughing faces only a blur. So the words, of course, with the passage of time, we try, or we like to forget such bad experiences, and we don't like to recall them, and why actually one should. So the laughing, the words are muffled now. So those words the teacher said, now she no more remembers or recalls them, that what actually the teacher said, and she actually doesn't feel like recalling those words or remembering those words. So the words are muffled now, the words are now silenced, they have got silenced. She doesn't recall and remember those words now. They have got, they don't have that much impact, or they have lost their, we can say, effect on the poet as they did when she was a child, when she was in that school, when she was in that class. So they have lost their impact. Now they are silenced. They are not hurting her now that much as they did when she was a child. And the laughing faces only a blur, means the faces the children who laughed at her at the time, her classmates, now they are only a blur. Means she doesn't remember even the faces, that who was that who laughed at her, who was that who joined in her insult, who actually really tried to inflict more pain on her. She doesn't remember. They are a blur now. The faces have got obscure and not clear, right? And the years have sped along, stopping briefly at beloved halls and moving sadly on. So what? The years have sped along, the time has passed, time flies, as we say. So time has flown by, the years have passed, the time is gone, and what? Briefly, stopping briefly at beloved halls and moving sadly on. So yes, it happens, we feel that it stops very briefly at the good time, good moments, and then it slowly and sadly moves on, that the sorrowful things seem to be lingering long and the good things seem to be passing very fast, fleeting away. So that's what she is trying to convey here. The time has sped, the years have sped on, the time has passed very fast, it has moved very fast, and only there were small or say brief moments of joys in the life, and there were more sad incidents and more sad moments. So it is so that what a human being feels, what people generally feel, that the small or say good things, actually the good things stop, the good things pass very fast, and the bad things and the sad things, they move on slowly and slowly. This is what one feels. So my mind has found an adult peace. So now she says that now I'm all relaxed, I'm at peace with me, myself and the world. So I don't need to recall and be painful at that what happened years back in the kindergarten. I don't need. My mind has attained maturity. Now I am an adult. I have more peace. So she says, no need to remember that picnic day when I lay hidden by a hedge. So now as I am at peace with myself, at peace with the world around, so as I am more in control of the things that I am surrounded by, so I don't need to. I have attained a certain maturity. So I am now quite, say, have attained or have got that adult peace. So I no need. She says, I don't need to remember that time, that picnic day when I really hit my face in the bush, watching the steel white sun. Now steel white sun, actually, why she is presenting sun as steel white sun, she is trying to show or associate with this cruelty, as it seemed to her, as the words were harsh, the words spoken by the teacher were harsh, she felt them to be very bad, she was insulted, she was pained. Same way, the sun that day appeared to be very cruel and harsh on her. It was a sunny day, a warm day, so she felt very, so she is comparing that harshness with the appearance of the sun, that steel white sun. So it's a good comparison here, it's a good imagery here used by the poet. So I lay hidden, when I lay hidden by a hedge, watching the steel white sun standing lonely in the sky. So just as the sun was alone there and was symbolizing the cruelty and harshness, same way she was standing all alone there, just hiding her face in the hedge. So she was actually hurt by the cruelty and harshness of the teacher. So this is how she is recalling that incident, but it is not just about the pain and hurt inflicted on her. It is also about the peace that comes with age, the peace and the maturity that comes with adulthood, that how one learns to forget bad instances, and how one keeps forgetting bad things and try to remember the good things in one's life. So it's all about such things. It's a philosophy of life. It's an idea how life progresses and how it happens with everybody, that the bad instances of the small age, the young age are forgotten, and we try to be at peace with ourselves and with the world around. So small poem written in very simple language by Kamala Das, just pronouncing a philosophy of life. So a very small and short poem. I hope I explained this well to you, and you understand now that what idea has been conveyed by the poet here. So I'll come with more such poems. So till then, thank you very much.